welcome to my rental car. Yesterday, I was going to do a little update about all that Joker sequel talk. Now I'm kind of glad that I didn't get the chance to do it. Recorded the full video before I left work. Stopped to get lunch before I had to go to my other job. Was driving down the street. There's a guy fully stopped at the driveway of a 7-Eleven. He's going to be pulling out into traffic. I assume after I pass him. That is not what he did. He just pulled out right in front of me. I don't think he even saw me, didn't even look. So, I swerved to the side, hit the brake. I knew I had one lane of clearance. There's 2 lanes going this way, 2 lanes going that way. Swerved, and he clipped the corner of my car, the front bumper. I didn't have enough time. By the time he pulled out, I was already 20 feet from him. Didn't have enough time. So anyways, that kind of put a kibosh on any plans to upload a video. I didn't make it to my other job. All of that jazz. But anyways, now we're here. I'm okay. My back hurts a little. What I was going to talk about yesterday, though, and what I did talk about in that video that since has been deleted. I've been having phone problems. I have all sorts of problems. Never ends, guys. Don't grow up. But yeah. Early yesterday, the Hollywood Reporter put out an article which it said the Joker sequel was happening. And Todd Phillips was set to write and direct it, with Joaquin Phoenix expected to return. Which totally makes sense given the fact that the movie made $1 billion. What I talked about in the video that never got uploaded was that we talked about on the podcast, I was sort of saying I would rather have another origin story that's a completely separate explanation as to why the Joker became the Joker. And I don't really want this to be a continuation of the Joaquin Phoenix Joker story. Because the further along you go, the more definitive it's going to become, I feel. And I don't know that that's something that I want to see happen. I don't like the Joker to have a definitive backstory, and it still bothers me today that Tim Burton Joker origin still sticks in people's mind. You know, I still hear people call him Jack Napier, which I don't want the Joker to have an alternate name, or a real name. I just want him to be the Joker. That's it. And also the confusion about who killed Batman's parents because of that movie. A lot of people are like, oh, the Joker killed Batman's parents. And it's like, in that version, yes. It's not like that version hasn't been played in other places, too. But it always just seems a little bit weird. I don't feel like Nicholson was... I mean, he was older than Michael Keaton. I don't know, it's hard for me to, tell the two. Michael Keaton looks a little bit rough around the edges. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about it. I was excited to see more of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, though, because I feel like we pretty much saw him play Arthur Fleck the entire movie. So I felt like that would be kind of cool. Just to see him, really transform into, a fully formed version of the Joker. The Hollywood Reporter article also said that Todd Phillips, had gone to Warner Brothers and requested to make a bunch of DC Comics superhero origin stories, and that one of them had been agreed upon. And I speculated that it could have been Penguin. But I didn't really feel like it was. I felt like there was something else, and I was trying to figure out if we're going to get another Martin Scorsese-type 80s crime movie, or if we're going to get a character transplanted into another genre entirely, because that's possible too. It's not like Todd Phillips is married to that one particular style. He's shown a lot of different things over the course of his career. I did note, I found it odd that he would suddenly be on board for doing a bunch of comic book based movies, because he's openly said that he's not that big of a comic book fan. Never really read them. But I didn't think too much about it. I just said, interesting. And then, late last night, apparently the folks over at Deadline had been doing some frantic fact-checking, and they put out a report that completely debunks the Hollywood Reporter's initial article. They said that no meeting took place between Todd Phillips and Warner's. They said that nothing is set in stone. And then this morning we got more news from Todd Phillips himself, who said, look, he said a couple of things that were interesting. He said, no meeting took place where I just marched in, which is not the same as saying that no meeting took place. Maybe that's a stretch, I don't know. But it is interesting that he frames it that way. He said that he's been pretty upfront about sequel. Him and Joaquin both have talked in the press about it already. It's something that they talk about. And it's something that he said he's talked about with Warner Brothers execs too, because as he put it, a movie doesn't make $1 billion and nobody asks about the possibility. So yeah, now everything's up in the air. We don't know. But I think I'm happy either way. I think I'm good either way. If we get one, that's fine. If we don't, then that's great, because Arthur Fleck gets to stay in his self-contained story, and he doesn't have to, it doesn't get spread out, you know. I was saying that, like, The Dark Knight did it, for me, the right way, because I don't feel like we really know anything about the Joker. The only thing we got close to is maybe a name, but even that's not confirmed. They dropped Melvin White. I think armed assault charge or something, can't remember. Moved to Arkham twice. So, who knows if Melvin White is the name of Nolan's Joker. But I mean, that's as much as I'm fine with there being a name that we can't link, you know? I just don't want to know for sure. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a topsy-turvy world, and it's weird when a big trade publication like The Hollywood Reporter gets it wrong. Something happened. Something. And whether it was exaggerated by somebody that's a lower level, like an intern, or, you know, somebody's in Warner Brothers keeping their ears open, and maybe they made a mountain out of a molehill. And maybe it's not. I think something happened. And again, it goes back to what Todd Phillips said in the press. No meeting took place in which I marched in demanding to do 40 DC Comics Origins movies, right? He's very specific about that. He's not saying that no meeting took place. So, I don't know. I think safe bet. He called the article, too, anticipatory at best. I think, given the fact that The Hollywood Reporter ran with that, you don't run with a story that big, especially when you're as credible as The Hollywood Reporter. You don't run with a story that big if you didn't hear this information from somebody that you trusted, which the only people you would trust are the people that have given you spot-on information before. And then, of course, Deadline's calling Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers doesn't want it to get out just yet. They're not ready for it to get out. Of course, Warner Brothers would probably say that it's not happening. At this point, I'm going to say smart money. I'll give it a 70-30. Okay? 70 that it's happening, 30 that it's not. Reason being is from everybody involved, okay? You $55 million movie, pulling in $1 billion. So the studio wants it. Joaquin Phoenix has said in interviews that he can't stop thinking about it. He says he doesn't want to do it just because the first one was successful. He called it ridiculous, and a lot of people said, well, that's it, that the door's closed. Joaquin Phoenix doesn't want to do it. That's not what he said. He said he would love to do it. He can't stop thinking about it, but there has to be a good story worth telling for him to be involved. And I think Todd Phillips feels the same way. And if those guys are passionate about doing this, which I think they are, I think they had a lot of fun, sounds like they had a lot of fun, why wouldn't they want to dip their toes back in? So I'm leaning on it's going to happen. And at least the Joker sequel. And who knows if there's going to be another villain origin movie or not, or a DC character origin movie at all, you know, as well, because in that initial Hollywood Reporter thing, they just said DC Comics characters origins. They didn't say specifically villains. So, I don't know. I'll say 70-30. Say 70-30 it's happening. And I'm 50-50 on whether or not I want it. So we'll see. But anyways, guys, that's WTFAWTA weighing in on the whole Joker sequel situation. Interesting times. I like when news gets messy. It's interesting. But anyways, guys, have a good day. Love you.